You pull out your cell phone and become a prime target. New businesses like this, popping up on corners like these, are pushing drug dealers right into their backyards. This isn't your typical homecoming of big floats and shiny dresses. Witnesses told police the two girls were seen arguing along this part of West 5th Street. Now, as Barry turned to walk away, the suspect pulled out a knife, stabbing her. The sun is out, but I'll show you why some students are walking around in these.
It's our job to protect our kids.
Dr. Kevin Foster never met Trayvon Martin, but knows his situation well.
My son was walking down the street. He saw a surveillance camera in a neighbor's window, and from the street looked at the camera and started waving at it. That night, the owner of that home posted online a video of my son with the title "Thieves, Trespassers, Vandals."
And Foster is not alone. Many black males share his concern.
The man that shot Trayvon Martin didn't shoot Trayvon Martin. He shot a black kid, and if it would have been me under that same hood and that same circumstance with an iced-tea and a skill, I would have been shot as well.
This is a common fear in many African American communities where boys are taught certain rules at an early age.
That he says yes sir, no sir. He goes into basically a conservative positioning, being docile in the moment, so that he survives the moment. And then the next thing he does is he finds an adult who loves him.
Reports of 17-year-old Martin's death has sparked controversy across campus. Some students have been wearing hoodies with signs attached that read, "I am Trayvon Martin," and now those protests have gone viral.
Students are adding Twitter and Facebook pictures of themselves in hoodies, and it's not just the men who are getting involved.
I feel affected by this because it could have been anyone that I knew. My cousin, my dad, a brother.
A realization that Foster says is necessary.
Now folks might begin to realize we're not crazy. We're protective, and appropriately so.
Priscilla Thompson, Texas News Watch.
I would often cry myself to sleep at night.
Finding out she was going blind wasn't easy for Joanne Wilson.
I was 19 years old, and I remember the doctor saying I was legally blind, and I began to think, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to me?
Now she hopes to make the transition a little easier through mentoring, exposing blind teens to activities they never dreamed possible, including grilling a steak, changing a tire, and using a chainsaw. And the program tackles bigger issues as well, specifically here in Austin.
Finding employment is one of the biggest issues, and convincing employers to hire us and how to accomplish the American dream and make the money.
According to the U.S. Social Security Administration, out of the more than 16,000 people in Travis County receiving supplemental security income, almost 14,000 of them are blind or disabled. The mentoring program is working to change this
in Phoenix, Texas,
through things like mock interviews and internships that better prepare teens for the job market.
I answer phones, I do a lot of stuff on the computer. I think a lot of the skills that I've learned there are going to help me in any job that I want to apply for.
An attitude Wilson traces back to having those blind mentors.
When I saw other blind people who were living the kind of life that I wanted to live, and then I knew I could do that too.
Back, 2, 3, clap.
Priscilla Thompson, Texas News Watch. Good evening, I'm Priscilla Thompson. Enjoyed that rain lately? Well, we're getting some more, and a cold front is moving in. Natalie Soul will have more on that later. There's one less contender in the Republican presidential race tonight. After a string of sexual harassment allegations, Herman Cain is dropping out. We get the latest from Brian Moore. Demonstrators are getting more rowdy around the world as angry protesters challenge police. More than 3,100 UT students are getting their hands on diplomas this weekend. As they head into the real world, they may be heading toward a bleak job market. A lot of happy people out at Fort Hood tonight. Some of the last troops in Iraq have come home. Chris Lawrence reports up next.